Hi, I'm Richard Murphy, and this is the second in the video series on the importance of tax transparency that I will be hosting and which is being made jointly by the University of Sheffield, where I work as Professor of Accounting Practice, the Global Initiative for Fiscal Transparency, and the International Budget Partnership. In this video, we will be looking at just what tax transparency is. In the Global Initiative for Fiscal Transparency's Transparency Principles for Tax Policy and Administration, which were adopted by GIFT's General Assembly in 2022 in Bogota, Colombia, it is said that tax transparency can be defined as the disclosure and publication of quantitative and qualitative data about the tax system that a society needs to hold decision makers to account and to reach informed judgments on how the tax system is performing during a particular time period. Those principles underpin much of what is said in this course. I will refer to them in more detail in video 3. A copy can be found in the downloadable course notes, and a link is to be found in the notes supporting this video. Tax transparency matters then because tax is at the core of the social contract between governments and those it governs. Tax not only plays a fundamental role in the funding of government expenditures, it can also be used to influence social and economic outcomes and advance the priorities established by the government. As a result, tax can be a central component in achieving social justice. Sound government does, in that case, require that all relevant parties have a voice in determining the priorities of a government when it comes to tax. Those relevant parties should also understand what a government is seeking to achieve when it comes to tax, have access to the information needed to contribute to policy making and how they can make their contributions when it comes to tax, and be empowered to hold their government accountable for the decisions that are made. Tax transparency makes these processes possible. An accountable and transparent tax system is fundamental to good governance. It provides the basis for proper checks and balances and establishes the foundation for trust in a government. In particular, public awareness of the role of taxation in financing more equitable and sustainable growth has increased dramatically in recent years. There is also a growing understanding that domestic resource mobilization can raise revenues for poverty alleviation and reduce reliance on foreign aid and debt. And what's more, tax systems that are transparent and accountable to the public can also improve governance when taxpayers demand better services in exchange for compliance with tax laws. This is why tax transparency matters. It can improve lives. These achievements are what can also make a transparent tax system a public good. Public goods are commodities or services provided without profit to benefit all members of a society, usually by a government. We think that tax systems are public goods. And we think that tax transparency can also raise tax morale, which we define as the willingness of people in a jurisdiction to pay tax. When there is trust in a tax system, people are more willing to pay their taxes. So what is tax transparency? In summary, it is a system of tax management that requires that a government commit to being clear about its tax strategy, explaining how this tax strategy fits within its overall approach to economic management, providing open and accountable budgets for planned tax revenues, using transparent government processes to change tax law, providing taxpayers with all the information that they might need to comply with tax law, upholding taxpayer confidentiality, publishing accounts showing taxes collected compared to budgets, explaining why expected taxes are not raised by accounting for the tax gap and tax spillovers, cooperating internationally on taxation issues, and having all of this data audited and subject to international scrutiny. All of these are issues that we will return to as this video series progresses.